So what I have in my hand is a breast. We are going to talk about latching. But now, how do I know when my baby is hungry? Tandem feeding, you need help. In this video, I'm going to take you through the basics of breastfeeding. There are quite a number of different positions to feed your baby in. Popular one is the cradle hold. This is where baby lies in the crook of your arm and you hold the baby to your body, and you're not supporting the head, but you're holding the bums and the back that you're supporting here. This hand is free, so you can caress your baby or eat something. But what people don't realize is that this is phase 2 of breastfeeding, because phase 1 you need both hands on board. You can't just put your baby on and expect them to latch and there it is, easy and straightforward. So the cross cradle is when I am starting with breastfeeding, and that's probably the best one to start. There's another one that you can alternate. Cross cradle means baby still lying across, but instead of just baby resting there, I'm going to support baby with this hand. And this hand is going to be holding my breast, because this way I can position the breast properly and I can maneuver the baby with this hand to latch properly. Because now in this position, if she detaches or she loses the latch, how do I put her back on? I can't do this. I'm going to have to shuffle around. So what works is to initially latch like this. Once it looks like she's getting a good latch, then that's why I'm saying phase 2, then you're welcome to try and change and let her continue. And then if she would come off, you'll have to start all over again, which is fine. Later on, when breastfeeding is established and you know what you're doing and baby knows what she's doing, then it's easy. In the middle of the night, in the middle of the day, you literally put them on, they immediately latch on and you can carry on. Then the rugby or the football one is also very popular and very nice for first-time moms starting with breastfeeding. And you can imagine holding a rugby ball or a football here under your arm. So what would be very nice is if you have a pillow. I'm going to show you with the pillow. This is a breastfeeding pillow. So the cross cradle works very nicely because baby can lie on the pillow. And with the rugby one, she can lie on the side, which is also very easy. And with this way, you support her head with your hand, and with your other hand, you'll support the breast to make sure that she can latch on like that. All the picture shows you nicely how to position the baby, and we're going to talk about the latch as well. Other positions that you can also try. I never found it very comfortable, but there's many moms that have found that this works. It's when you lie flat on your back, obviously on the pillow, and baby lies on your tummy, and she latches like this. The chances of her detaching or losing the latch is lower because gravity and the fact that her neck control is not very strong pushes her into the breast. So even if she pulls back, it's not enough to lose the latch. So this is a popular one with some moms. I could never get it. You can do it like that. When they're a little bit bigger, they can even, if you lie on your back, they can even try from the side. Lie in bed. So it's basically like the cradle one, but you lie in bed. So you're lying here with a pillow. Baby is here and you latch her while you are also lying on the side. I warned you, we are going to get graphic. So what I have in my hand is a breast model. Okay, so we are going to talk about latching so that you can understand why it is so important to get the latching right. So based on the anatomy, you understand that all the milk glands are sitting here, right? This is the areola and this is the nipple. We don't want the baby to suck only on the nipple because the baby is not going to get any milk from there. We don't want her to suck only on the areola because there's no milk there either. Where we want her to suck is to get to the point where she can pull milk from the milk glands in here. So what does that mean in practice? It means golden rules for breastfeeding. The baby's nose and the nipple, your nipple, needs to be on the same level. Baby's bottom lip, chin, needs to be below the areola. So what does that mean? Okay, my baby is a little bit small here, but it means when I want to put my baby on the breast, is I'm not going to hold my baby and bring the breast here. I'm going to hold my breast, and the idea is to hold the breast in a C. You form your hands a C and you hold the breast either like this when you put the baby here, or like this when you want to put the baby here. So I want to hold the baby in a C. I'm going to hold it this way because it's easier for me. So my baby's bottom lip and chin is going to be at the bottom of the breast there. When she opens her mouth, if her mouth is like this, can you see that if I want to put her on the breast, she's only going to suck on the nipple. I'm not going to get any milk there. What I want is the moment her chin touches the bottom of my breast, just below the areola, that's where her bottom lip is going to be. And she opens up. That's the moment I take and I put my baby on the breast. Big thing, I don't bring, so if you're like sitting like this and my baby's here, I'm not going to pull my breast that side, right? I'm going to hold my breast right where it is. I'm going to take this baby, get her to latch, and as soon as she opens her mouth, I put her on. The same if I do this. I'm not going to pull my breast because she's going to lose the latch if you do that. She's not going to latch properly. I'm going to hold my baby. The moment she opens her mouth, I'm going to put her on. And this is how she's going to stay on the breast. If I can show with my hands, this is my baby's very big mouth. You're going to put the bottom lip there, and she's not going to open big. She's going to do this, and you can see nothing is happening with the breast. If I can put her mouth there and she opens up big, and you have to be quick. I know it looks weird when the nurses will help you in the ward. They do it very quickly because babies close their mouth, so you can't wait too long. You'll put her mouth there, she opens up, and the moment she opens up, you put her on, and she's going to start sucking away. And you can see when she sucks, we're basically not doing much. Okay, obviously it's in her mouth, so it's going to do this. But she's not touching the nipple. The nipple is in the back of her palate, soft palate where it's not being pulled. She doesn't suck on it, so that's why it's not supposed to be sore. She's doing this. All the milk she's getting from the milk glands, she's just working it through the nipple to get the milk out. Okay, very graphic explanation, but I hope it makes sense why the latch is so incredibly important. For the purpose of my babies being the same size, I'm going to use them for the twin feeding. So the football hold with twins. I didn't find other positions the most comfortable, but that is just a personal thing. It can work for many moms, it works great, especially when they're small, but this is where you need a lot of help. Tandem feeding, you need help in the beginning. You can't really do it on your own, it's very difficult. Where you basically latch a baby as if in the cradle position, but instead of just holding them like this, a little bit down, and this baby will latch on the other side, and they can lie cross-leg over each other. They don't bother each other. And you can feed them like this, or you can have one in the cradle position and you can have one in the football position, and then it's also an easy way to get them to latch nicely because you can control this one a little bit. This one you're going to need help with though. With tandem feeding, bottom line is you're going to need help because once you've latched one baby, you need to pick up the other one, and you can't move too much because they lose their latch. They detach very, very easily. So you can't move too much. You literally need someone to bring the baby and put the baby down, help you latch, and there off you go. But now, how do I know when my baby is hungry? So there's usually about 3 phases of hunger cues that babies will get. The first one is when they just wake up and they're stirring and they're moving, and it looks like they're yawning or they're opening their mouth, and they kind of look like they're looking for something. If you would touch them here, they would follow your finger. And it's very often missed, these early cues, just because you might be busy with someone else with something else, or it might be in the middle of the night and you're actually still sleeping and you miss these cues. And then it goes to the second phase of cues where it becomes there's a lot more movement. Baby is now actively looking for his hand, sucking on his hand, and he's kicking and he's moving, he's wriggling around, he's wriggling out of his blankie, and he's now, you can see when you look at him, he is hungry, he's looking to suck on something. If you miss these cues, because it can come with noises or without noises, you might be woken up with sucking noises, or you might not because they get a hold of a sleeve and you can't hear it. If you miss that one, you get to a little bit of a hangry stage where they start crying and they lose their mind or they lose their marbles, because now they've been telling you for a while now, I'm hungry, and you haven't done anything, and now they're angry because I'm hungry, feed me now. But the problem is if they're that angry, and they really are angry, it's difficult to latch them when they're angry. You really need to, this is my baby, you really need to just pick her up, calm her down first, and then you can latch her, because you can't latch a baby that is crying angry. They will pull away and they won't latch. You first need to calm her. Shh. Once she's calm, you say, okay, now I'm going to put you in a position. Now you are ready to feed. How do I know that my baby has enough milk and that we're done with the feed? So there's a few things that you can look out for. But the first thing you need to do is to always remember, once you've fed on the one side, offer the other breast to the baby as well. Why is this? So I'm going to get my baby here where she fell. Check. Poor Lucy. So Lucy has now had some milk and she's fallen asleep. So why did she fall asleep? Either her tummy is full, so she's happy to go back to sleep, or she's tired of drinking and she's fallen asleep because she's tired. But I don't know which is which. The other option is Lucy is pulling away from the breast. She's going and pulling and pulling. Why? Either she's full or she's trying but nothing is coming out, so she's getting frustrated because she's more hungry but there's nothing. That's why we offer the second side. So she's fed now. I put her up. I gave her a burp. Sometimes if they've fallen asleep, it helps to give them a burp because it wakes them up again. Give her a little bit of a burp and then say, okay, I'm going to give you the second side. Often they will take the second side if they're more hungry, or they will continue to sleep. Then you know they've had enough. If they're not interested in the second side and they've either fallen asleep or they pulled back, it means they've had enough. If they're very happy to latch on the second side, you know that they were not completely full from the first feed. We're going to do the second feed, and it can be 5 minutes, it can be another 20 minutes. Every baby is different.